Hi everyone, and welcome to Learnora. Mastering a few key study strategies can transform your study sessions from tedious slogs to effective and even enjoyable learning experiences. In this video, we're going to equip you with 10 powerful study hacks that can help you conquer even the toughest exams. Think of these as your secret weapons for exam success. So whether you're facing a challenging CPA, CMA, CFA exam, any complex test, or a comprehensive review, these study hacks will empower you to study smarter, not harder, and approach your exams with confidence. Let's dive in. Have you ever crammed for an exam, felt like you had it all down, only to forget most of it a few days later? That's where the power of spaced repetition comes in. Instead of cramming all your studying into a short period, spaced repetition involves revisiting material at increasing intervals. Review a new concept today, then tomorrow, a few days later, a week later, and so on. Tools like Anki and Quizlet can help you implement spaced repetition effortlessly. Imagine trying to learn to play basketball by just reading a book about it. Passive reading is like just reading the basketball rule book. Active recall is where the real learning magic happens. Instead of passively rereading notes, cover them up and try to actively recall the information. Flashcards and practice quizzes are fantastic tools for this. By actively retrieving information, you strengthen the neural pathways in your brain, making it easier to recall the information during the actual exam. Ever find yourself losing focus after just a short period of studying? Our brains aren't wired for marathon study sessions. The Pomodoro technique breaks down your study time into manageable chunks, typically 25 minutes of focused work followed by a short 5-minute break. These regular breaks prevent burnout and help you stay refreshed and engaged throughout your study session. Setting clear goals is like having a roadmap for your study journey. But not just any goals, we're talking about SMART goals. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Instead of setting a vague goal like study for my CPA exam, make it SMART. For example, I will complete 50 practice multiple choice questions on CPA exam revenue recognition by 8 p.m. tonight. Ever notice how athletes practice in game-like scenarios? They scrimmage. They do drills that mimic the pressure of a real game, seek out past exams, sample questions, or practice multiple choice questions that mirror the format and difficulty of your actual test. Not all study material is created equal. The Pareto principle suggests that roughly 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts. Focus on identifying the most important 20%, the key concepts, the frequently tested topics, and allocate more of your time and energy to those areas. Think back to when you were learning to ride a bike. Did you memorize a bunch of formulas about balance and physics? Of course not. You learned by doing, by understanding how the bike moved and responded to your actions. Rote memorization might get you through some basic definitions, but for deeper, more complex topics, you need to aim for conceptual understanding. Ask yourself why and how questions. Don't just memorize formulas, understand how they work, what they represent, and how they connect to the bigger picture. Our brains are wired to process visual information much faster than text alone. Use flowcharts, mind maps, diagrams, or even doodles to break down complex information into more manageable and visually appealing chunks. Visualizing concepts can significantly improve your comprehension and retention. One of the most effective ways to actively recall and solidify your learning is to try to teach it to someone else. After you've studied a topic, summarize it in your own words as if you were explaining it to a classmate who missed the lesson. The act of explaining and summarizing forces you to organize your thoughts and identify any gaps in your understanding. Imagine a basketball team that never played any practice games before the championship. Regular self-assessment is crucial. Use mock tests, practice quizzes, and even just reviewing your notes to periodically assess your progress. Identify your strengths and weaknesses so you can adjust your study plan accordingly. So, there you have it, our top 10 study hacks to help you ace your exams. Remember, effective studying is not about cramming or pulling all-nighters, it's about working smarter, not harder, and using strategies that promote deep understanding and long-term retention. Try incorporating these hacks into your study routine and see the difference they can make. Now go out there and ace those exams. Learnora, the Learning Lab. Happy learning.